and things like that. And then, I have money in StableFund, but I would like just some details and the roadmap and things like that before I really go like all in, hard in. So if you're joining us here today, please do hit the like button, whether you're watching live or watching as a replay. Appreciate the support in that way. And if you have questions that you want to ask, please feel free to ask. If I don't see it, we have a lot of people on here today, a lot of chats and comments, and I love that. So if I don't see your question, ask it again. If you ask like 10 times and I still don't answer, I might not like the question and I might just be ignoring it. So just know that is how it goes. So yeah, welcome to everybody in the audience. We got Austin. Good to see you today, brother. Love my fellow YouTubers. Appreciate you showing up. A lot of StableFund fans as well. So let's go ahead. Michael, thanks for hopping on. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Could you start out by just giving a quick introduction about you and your background?
Sure. Firstly, thanks for having me. So hi, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good afternoon or evening, wherever you guys are based. So this is Michael / Ray. Ray is my old name, but Michael's actually my real name. And this journey was started with actually StableFund, which was a high ROI project. We had a looping issue in that project actually, and a lot of people's funds got stuck. And what we did was we refunded close to 500,000 Matic that time, Matic was around $2.50 that time, and we gave people a token called S-Rocket, which is actually linked to the StableFund token, to everyone who was affected, who we could not pay out in Matic that time. And then, cut a long story short, I was not doing any ROI projects after that. Then I launched a project called the Farmhouse, which was just like a miner, similar to quite like the baked bean concept. That was quite a success as well on the Matic chain. Thereafter, since a lot of people were hurt in the StableFund project with the V1 version where there were bugs, I had a solid community of, I call them StableFund soldiers. And we made a group of about 20 people where I said, hey guys, you've been loyal to me, I'll give you something. And the landing page, I don't know if you know StableFund. StableFund.app now is obviously a full app and stuff like that. But before, it used to be only just a landing page, and you could just connect your wallet via Wallet Connect, and you could just invest, because it was just made for 20 people. And we ran that for about 60 to 70 days. People were really happy. They were seeing only a small group of 20 people, and they were seeing their returns every day. And then there's a YouTuber called DeFi Dude, and obviously I reached out to him. I said, hey, DeFi Dude, I have this project. What do you think about it? He straight went like, hey, I want to do a video on this. I didn't even want this thing to go viral, because I'll give you a background story of this. I bought $20,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2010. And I had all those Bitcoins, and I used to travel on all these conferences back when crypto was like booming in 2017. And I was going across the world, like South Korea, Japan, China, and all of the good events, which I thought should be interesting to take part at. That's where I met this guy who's a Japanese trader, actually. And we connected, and he was a seasoned guy. He's in his late 50s, and also a very, very educated person. So we said, okay, we should do something. We connected again later on. And that's when we decided to come up with these bots, which actually took us over 2.5 years in making, and about a year worth of stress testing with all my own funds. So this was not a project which we wanted to ever make it public, but it just happened so that it got public, and that's where we are. And then just to provide a better support to the community, and obviously do things at a bigger level, because my goal is to reach out 100,000 users. I have commitment from some big hedge funds out of US. I can't name them, but that's where obviously I do not even fare the SEC sector as much, because I have commitments for them. So tomorrow, if something goes wrong, I can definitely go under the umbrella and classify myself as a secured platform.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, no, I appreciate you hopping on. Again, I've had so many people ask me my thoughts on StableFund, and it's hard for me to give much of an opinion until I've kind of talked and understand the vision and all that. So that makes a lot of sense. And thanks for going through kind of how you started. The first question, I'm going to just let the audience kind of steer the questions in a lot of ways. But so I just did a video about Ponzi schemes. So can we
Right.
just ask right off the bat, is this a Ponzi scheme? Or is there Ponzi-nomics going on? Or is it all revenue generated? You want to talk through that?
Not at all. Not at all. It's all revenue generated. So if you see, if someone is enough of a coder, he can go and see. We keep on adding funds to the smart contracts every now and then, right? And it's not a Ponzi nomics. You see the amount which is being paid out, and you see the amount which is lying in the smart contract, and everything levels up. This is what I've said to all my community before and after. Like sometimes people vary, oh, this contract balance is going a bit low. What's going to happen? This is not Ponzinomics. I mean, tomorrow, if I want to, we have a very solid fiduciary balance right now, right? It's in realms of over $28 million right away. And I said to my community, even if I want to close this project down tomorrow, pay all the investors and still be there, we will be there. So there is no Ponzinomics in this. It's as safe as it is. Only thing which we are benefiting as a team from, because I don't know how much you know about StableFund. StableFund has a coin called S-Rocket as well, which is attached to the ecosystem. That coin actually gets the 3% fee, which gets deducted. We've been paying this fee twice a month, and once it's on the 11th of each month, and once it's on the 25th. Last on the 25th was about 6.2 Matic per S rocket. This month, I'm anticipating tomorrow, because 11th fell on a Sunday this time. It should be close to 8.5, 8.2 to 8.5 Matic per S rocket. So we are just giving back to the community. The only upside we enjoy on this project is daily trading volume, which we are able to generate. So some days are that we're making 2.5%. Some days are we even making 6 to 7%, because every market has different days. Like we enjoy the market when there's a lot more fluctuation. If the market's going, say, up 7, 8, 10%, or going down 7, 8, 10%, those are the days we kind of make money to pay our investors for the next 10 days in a row. And then there are some days where we do not make that much of money, but we still do average to make out between 1.5 and 1.7%. So we are enjoying the upside on obviously people's money, and that's what we are making, and that's what shows our interest in this project.
Okay, very cool. Could you go through? So I kind of heard you have the trading fees and the trading bots. Could you talk through all the different revenue streams and just maybe kind of just list them out? I'm very engineer list spreadsheet
Right.
type guy,
Right. So see, there are the 3 bots which we have when it comes to bots. 2 bots are linked via the API, so you don't need to take the funds out of the contract and put them in. That's how we started with the Matic contract. But once we felt that this thing was going so big, Matic has a limited supply, and we were kind of very skeptical about it. And a lot of members were also asking us, what's going to happen if this blows up? Because Matic has a definite supply, and this might just reach that point very soon. That's when we started to diversify to BUSD and BNB kind of things, because the 2 bots which are linked via API, you don't need to remove the funds. And then we have the 3rd bot, which actually only trades USD. That's USD versus gold, USD versus oil and gas sometimes, but mostly we are focused on USD versus gold. I've given these videos about trading and stuff like that in our community channel and Telegram as well a few times. So that's where it is. Now the serving part is the fee which we take, which is a 3%. So for example, say if you have to deposit $3,000, right? You will be taking $90 off that, and that's the fee which serves as the money which we give as reward to S-Rocket holders. Now, S-Rocket is a token which is listed on Bitrue, BitMax, and all the dexes, mostly Uniswap, etc. But the beauty about that token is the supply is only 100,000. It's a very limited supply. And since you can imagine a token which is like, I think today it's at about $91, $92 a token. If a token of $91, $92 is making you about $14 to $15 approximately a month, why would anyone sell that token? Like they'll kind of hold on to it. And the supply is so short that like you won't be ever able to come across a token like that. And people are just loving and enjoying that as well right now. I mean, we have a group called S-Rocket, which is all linked to it. So it's like an ecosystem which we made. And this was planned from the start to make this whole thing like an ecosystem. So it never really needs it. And definitely I've been approached by, and in fact, I should mention this, there are a few funds which are already invested in the project. So it's not just that individual people are investing. I mean, we don't have a portal where companies can invest. So obviously they're investing from individual wallets, but there are funds which are There's some people who've invested in tune of 500,000 plus. Those are actually mostly funds, not individual people.
Okay, very cool. So I was wondering about the trading bots. One thing that I've always, because people have told me, oh yeah, stable funds using trading bots, and maybe I'm just not using the right bots, but I've never been able to get 1.5% a day on any bots. Do you want to talk
See,
about that? Can you ask Michael how
definitely,
sustainable are the bots? And
definitely.
you probably can't
So
give your secret sauce, but do you want to talk through that a little bit?
no, definitely, I'll talk. See, like James, as you would know, there must have been days for you where you traded and made maybe even without bots 5 to 6% a day, right? It totally depends upon which way the market is fluctuating. That's why we have this gentleman who's actually watching the trades. Bots are just like a technology, right? They're not the ones who are thinking of what market should be traded and not be traded. And that's why we did diversification, which is key. And the diversification actually does get us sustainability, because say tomorrow if crypto market was to crash or do this, we at least have a market to function in the gold side of things, and gold is $1 trillion market cap on daily basis. So we are just running this pure basis on trading. I mean, look at these funds, like obviously top notch funds, say Maxims, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase. They're paying their clients 6 to 7, 8%, because that's a traditional kind of realm, right? Like if it's a traditional realm, you can offer, say, if you go to a boutique bank, you'll be like, say, okay, I can achieve maybe 10 to 12%, right? In crypto, things have always been very different, right? The percentage of APY and stuff is always been very high. Now, when it comes to trading, trading is a beauty. Like the more the money you have, this is what people ask me. Oh, what if it goes to $1 billion? Will you be still able to control and pay and sustain people and pay them 1.5%? I've always said, more the money is more the leverage. If you trade yourself, you would know this for sure, that once you're trading and say you're trading a pair for $100,000, and now your market's changing drastically and you have another, say, 100, 200,000 to back it up, you can play more risk with it and come out as a winner with your positions. So clearly, that's what we are doing. We have a lot of leverage to play with, and that's why, as I mentioned, there's some days where we make close to 8 to 10%, which covers us for a lot of days. And having said that, that's why we're building up this fiduciary balance all the time. That tomorrow, say, a day comes where we cannot do it and stuff like that, we're still not risking anyone's money. I mean, project speaks for itself. There are people out there in StableFund who've taken their money back and now playing on pure profits and still making close to $5,000 to $6,000 a day.
Okay, yeah, and do you are you able to, I know a lot of people have been asking for like info on the bot trades, or just want to verify that that's actually happening. Do you want to talk through kind of your thoughts on
Correct.
that? Are you worried about giving up
Not
the
at all.
secret sauce, or you want to talk through that?
Not at all. So what we're doing is we are having so we're having two events. One is an event in Dubai, where we are sponsors in the Dubai Expo, which is in October, where obviously myself's not going to be there, but our team members are going to be there. And obviously anyone who's listening out and is in Dubai by any chance on that time, make sure you visit us and show some support. The other event which we're going to have is maybe mid to end of November. We're still trying to finalize. It's going to be in Dubai as well. Now, this is going to be a dedicated stable fund event where we're going to be showcasing the bots. Like we'll be having a live screen and people can see how the bots are running, what is making per second and stuff like that. But it's going to be a strictly stable fund thing. We're going to be issuing tickets out soon. So we know that, because if I have to give a commitment to a conference hall and stuff like that, I need to make sure that there are enough attendees, not that only 20 people want to come and we are doing an event for them in Dubai, right? It doesn't make sense. So
Right.
it practically has to make sense. But yeah, soon we'll be releasing the tickets out with the venue and details like that. And if enough people sign up, which I would say a minimum of 100 people sign up, we will be going ahead with the event and showcasing everything there.
Okay, very cool. And when did you say you were going to be in Dubai in October? Because I'm actually going to be
So October, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be there in November, which is going to be the
okay.
main stable fund event. But in October, we are doing the blockchain expo. I think we are one of the sponsors in them. You can go in the website. We are already there, and we have our own booth. So if you guys are there, definitely pop up there.
Okay, yeah, I think I will be at the Blockchain Expo, so that'll be cool
Yeah,
just to kind of meet some people there. So
definitely.
awesome. All right, are you ready for some tough questions?
Yes, I am
All
always.
right. First off, why no camera on? People always want to know about the doxing situation.
Listen, I'll be honest to you. The only situation is I am a family man, right? And I have my family, and I know how crypto is. Crypto can sometimes be a blessing, sometimes it can just not be a blessing. So I know how it works. Once they have everything of me, a picture of me, and then they're going on following me on my social medias, connecting to my family. I just don't want any of that drama. That's why I just said, I'm going to see you guys at the event. Obviously, there's going to be strict rules there as well. No phones, no cameras, but you can see the trading board. You can see myself, and that should be sufficient for people.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and like you said, the project kind of speaks for itself. So I totally get that. Let's see. Okay, do you want to talk about your previous projects? I know that's something that people ask me about. Is you have started other projects that may or may not have worked out. Do you kind of want to talk through
Correct.
those a little bit?
Definitely. So we started with StableFund, which was a high ROI project and offering, say, 7% daily. And that's how I entered the DeFi space, to be honest. And as I explained, that was a failure. We had a looping issue. Now, Matic has this looping thing. As soon as the transactions go hit above 100, what happens is your funds start getting locked into smart contract because the gas fee is pretty low and they never want to increase that block. So we went through that. We tried to speak to the Polygon chain team, had conversations with them on the Discord, but they weren't willing to help us. So what happened? A lot of money got stuck in the contract. Not that we rugged or anything, none of that, but the money was stuck. So basically, people who invested first, as soon as they got to 100 transactions, they couldn't take their money out, and that's how they got stuck. So a lot of people benefited from that, the latecomers, but the people who got stuck, we refunded them in Matic as much as we could from a team perspective, and then when we could not, we gave them S Rockets. Now a lot of people obviously hated because S Rocket was not even $1 when StableFund wasn't there. So as soon as StableFund started getting the thing, S Rocket went to $10, 15, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Now it's close to $100. It's been at its peak at 150. And today when I was checking the sell wall, I think it's only 40, 50 coins left. If that breaks through, it's straight going to $200 a token, which I think should happen by tomorrow or day after, because once these dividends, no, I won't say dividends, sorry, I take my word back because that becomes too financial. Rewards, right? When these rewards go out, I would say that people then come and buy the token again and everything, and that's going to break that sell wall and it's going to go to the moon again.
It sounds like you have SEC experience. So yeah, dividends is a no word.
You won't imagine. When I started the project and when I saw it growing to that level, I hired a team out in UK of a full set of lawyers who are very much dealing with financial conduct authority every day and out, and even a set of lawyer for the US SEC. So it's a Clifford Chance is the law firm which I have on board. So you can imagine, like, they are the best. You can't beat them. So when I speak to them and before going on AMAs and everything, they kind of do educate me what words to use and what words not to use.
Okay, and I don't know if this is too personal, but everybody's speculating in the comments about, are you Indian? Is that that's what people are wanting to
So
know?
I've always told this. My mom's side is Indian and my dad's side is not Indian. He's American. So I've always said this. But yes, I've done part of my education in India as well. That's why I have a strong Indian accent.
Awesome, very cool. Yeah, and so I got nice mug. Yes, this is just in case I forget whose is whose. That's why I have that. Recommend it. Let's see. So you mentioned a Visa card available to members. Is that something still on the roadmap?
Uh, so what happened was we did go ahead. We got approved by a Visa as well for the cards. But what Visa made a comment was that we have to make sure that we have the whole platform has to be KYC. So as of now, my platform has an option to get KYC or not, because only when you go on exchange functionality, which is like you can buy crypto through our wallet, is when you need to KYC yourself. But then we ran actually a poll on our Telegram channel. What do people want? Do they want to get KYC'd, and shall we continue with that? But the outcome was not towards that favor of getting KYC'd right now, which I completely do understand, because we started as a DeFi project and DeFi space is all about just being an anonymous. So definitely we are still talking to a few other people who already have a Visa approval, so we can just go lie under them and then they still can do it. But it's just that some matrices don't make sense because they try to ask too much high percentage on exchanges and stuff like that. So every day we are in conversation with some new teams. So soon there's going to be a project coming up where we will be launching those Visa cards. Additionally, we have Coinbase integration coming very soon. So you will be able to buy via our app through Coinbase as well. Like right now, you can buy through Transact via our app. You can even swap via our app, which is a platform which we use called Router Protocol. and you can even save your crypto just as MetaMask. I mean, this is why stable funds are like ecosystem. It's not just a staking platform, because the usership which we are getting is not just taking part of it. We're just getting some users, because I obviously have the data for that from my backend team. There are more users we have, which I actually started to using our wallet as well, then apart from just people who are staking.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. And what was your what made the decision to create your own wallet and use that? That's pretty unique, I think, for most of the DeFi projects I've seen.
Yeah, so basically why we wanted to do it was at ease, because I've always seen, doesn't matter what kind of devs you use, what kind of technology you use, it always breaks when it comes to wallet connect. It's either not going to show you the correct data, or you sometimes connecting your wallet, it's not connecting, all those glitches, and most of the time you repeatedly in your what you call it, Telegram, telling the community, make sure you refresh your cookies, delete them, all of that. So I was like, okay, when it's growing to that level, I don't want to see that. And additionally, my aim is to actually go and get this under one of the good hedge funds, right? So obviously, no one's going to entertain you if you don't have a good, suitable protocol like an app and everything. Because at the end, it's the tech, right? I'm looking after a tech valuation. That's why I always talk about users. I never talk about the funds I'm managing. For me, it's only a usership game. It's not that, oh, I'm managing 100 million, I'm managing 200 million, 300. That's not my target. My target is to get to 100,000 users. So we do get acquired, but I'll still be the part of management team. It's going to be running under me only, but it's going to be something that we've covered our nails from all the doors, which we sometimes people come and ask me, oh, what about SEC comes bang your door and everything? As of now, I don't have an answer for that. But yes, we have signed up with some people, but we have to get to that usership to make that deal viable.
Okay, thanks for answering that. And then this one is near and dear to my heart, but a few people are asking if you're ever planning on doing a referral program, which yes,
Never.
I would be a fan of that. What are your thoughts?
Never. I personally think referral is a Ponzi. And that's what is Ponzinomics for me. So I don't want to do a referral reason, because we haven't done it in the first, and now there's no way we can do it. But this whole thing was built as we would not do any marketing, we would not do any referrals, we would not do it. And we've never done it. I mean, the only marketing we've done is black cabs in UK. Like we had some black cabs. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the videos. They posted on a Telegram group. We had black cabs wrapped around with StableFund with the QR code. Next thing which is coming up is, I think in next 7 to 10 days, we'll be live on Times Square as well. So we have our hoarding going up there. And those are the kind of things which we're doing. And that also is to create awareness. It's not from the marketing perspective that we need more clients and stuff like that. It's just awareness and creating a brand out of this stable fund.
Yes, and people were asking about the London Black Cab, so thanks for talking about that. And my audience knows me too well. When James smiles during AMAs, he's thinking money printer. Either that, or I'm just happy. Okay, it could be that also.
It's a
Do you want to talk
satisfying
about?
Sunday. Let's put it that.
Yeah, that's right. Is it NFL football here in the States is starting? I mean, it's a good day. I'm in. What are the risks? What would you say are the biggest risks to stable fund investors?
So I've said that, like, if the market goes, say, bleeding in a day down to 40-50%, then there is a risk to stable fund investors, as it's going to be with any investments. So just like obviously in 2008 we had a bad day on the stock exchange, and if you have one of those days, and even in crypto, the bots are going to go out of hands and it's not going to work. But I would still add to this, we still have a healthy fiduciary to cover up for things. Even if that happens, people will definitely get their initial investment back. Some people would have still profited, but some people who would have been new in the game, as of now, and categorically, this is as of now with 2 stars, we have healthy enough judiciary to pay everyone out and still come out of the game.
Okay. Yep. No, but that makes sense. Any crypto project, if the crypto market crashes 60%, is going to have problems. It's just nature of the nature of where we're at. And I've had about
Exactly.
50 people ask about an update on S-Rocket staking. Can you go ahead and talk about that?
Yes. So basically, my senior dev was traveling, and I've had a chance to talk to him, and he's making a whole kind of plan to how we can customize that into the platform, and the payouts are going to be in what currency and stuff like that. So it's in discussion. I should be releasing more info coming week on my Telegram channel.
Okay, thanks for answering that. Do you have any audits currently, whether it be through your contracts or through your bots or anything like that?
No, we don't have any audits of contracts. We've been offered to audit them. Some good companies have reached out to us after the success saying, oh, we can still audit your contracts and stuff like that. But again, I don't feel the audit would ever pass in a way people want to see it pass, because we do have a thing where we can withdraw funds as and when required. So I don't see a thing auditing the contracts. Now, again, auditing the bots is the same thing, because that's the secret sauce which we don't want to give it to anyone. So if you're giving it to some tech company to come and audit it, it's highly likely that my trader wants to do it. See, everything is not in my hands. I wish it was, because he is my partner in the game, and obviously I'm majority, but he still is a partner in my game. So I have to listen to him when it comes to trading. I don't bother him. I don't ask him these questions, because the guy who's making us all money, let him do his job. And that's why I leave it at. And it's not just your money, like it's my money before your money, because that's why I made the bots like 3 years ago. This was just totally for the crypto I hold, and I hold a big chunk of crypto, and that's why I don't want this whole ever to fail. But yeah, as of now, to answer, we have no audits either for smart contracts or for our bots.
Okay. And then can you talk about the longevity of the project? Do you kind of see it that these bots will keep going forever? And along with that, Gasper would like to know, how can we rest assured this project's not going to shut down someday?
Yeah. See, in regards with the bots, we keep upgrading the bots time to time. It's not that like the technology is getting old and we're not working on it. The dev team, we have close to 40 devs right now working for us in StableFund itself, right? So their whole job is to just keep getting the user interface better, add new things into the app, and also a set of 15 devs only work on the bots, like to keep improving them so they don't get outdated. So to answer that question, we don't think bots are going to get dated. Apart from that, like me running, guys, I mean, right now I have $20 million plus the fiduciary is at 28 million. If I'm not running now, when am I going to run? I mean, you can answer that for yourself. Like it's not going to be a rug pull situation. If the market goes sideways, that's going to be different. If we get hacked, which is totally not possible, but anything is possible in this world again, because we have a security team of 5 people as well who are working around the clock for us, then it's a different thing. Me personally, rugging the project and going out is not happening. If it's not happened now, it's not going to happen then.
Right. Yeah. The time for rugging is past in this project,
Yes.
in my opinion. Is there a possibility that the 1.5% will change over time, like an adjustment for market conditions?
No, not really, because if say market, I mean, again, this is depends on crypto. If say a lot of market share is just gone and we don't have so many trades to pair and stuff like that, it could have happened. But again, then as I said, diversification is key in anything in life, and we have diversified to other currencies such as gold, oil and gas, which do make good percentages all day long. So we don't foresee that happening. But in the event that was the case, we will still come up and inform the community first. You guys know us. We are very community driven. So if our community asks us for something, we deliver it. If they say, okay, this is the thing, we want to know this, we tell them. Now, if there's any issues we feel are forthcoming and stuff like that, we'll be the first ones to come and inform you and make sure how it can be turned best for the company and for all the users as well.
Okay. Yeah, and I want to remind people in the audience. So I know there's a lot of people from the Stable Fund community, and that's awesome. And I appreciate you guys being here. But just remember that not everyone is in the project already. So if people have questions that you think are dumb, or you think, oh, that's, you should know that, or that's a boring question, or that's FUD, let people that aren't in the project ask their questions. Again, that's what I'm trying to do here. Is I want to. You guys are already in it, so I love your questions, and I'll try to answer those. But we want to get new eyes on it also, and people have questions. So let's not be hostile towards people who have questions. But for example, Jay wants to know, how long has StableFund been in business, and is it easy to get your money out?
So I think we've been in business, I think close to six months now. Yeah. I mean, with the whole app and all, it's been about 4.5 months. But before that, when we had the normal landing page website and stuff, it was like about 6 months in total, I would say. Yeah, I mean, imagine it 1.5%. And if you're compounding in the right manner, I think you should be able to get your money out in 60 days. And then after that, it's all paying on profits.
Okay,
And
and
I
then
would
how many?
mention that, sorry, James, to cut you. And I
No,
would
no, that's
mention this
okay.
because I get my stats close to 30% people in the project are now playing purely on profits, which is a
That's
good,
awesome.
good number.
Yeah, that's an awesome statistic. I'm gonna write that one down. And hey, feel free to interrupt me. People are here to hear you, not me. They hear me all the time, so feel free. How many investors are there, and which token is the biggest within the platform?
So I think as of now, we have close to 14,000 users approximately, and the biggest one is BUSD.
Okay. Yep. And the good answer there. We have a lot of questions, so we want to get through all of them. And if I, by the way, audience, if I don't get to your question, feel free to hop in their Discord or their Telegram. I know they would love to answer every single one of your questions. Or do you have a Discord or just a Telegram?
No, so we just still at 4,000 members in our Telegram because our Telegram got a bot attack recently. So we had a lot of members went out of that. So we said when as soon as we get to close to 7,000 members, we're going to open a Discord. I'll be honest, I'm not very good at Discord. I don't even know how it runs. So that's why I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can. But when it comes the right time, we'll launch it.
That's awesome. No, it's nice to recognize your weaknesses and admit those. So I appreciate that.
Thank
Any
you.
update on the Times Square advertisements?
Yes, within next 10 days, we will be announcing it, what time and what date are we going live. So people who are living close to New York and everything can go there themselves and maybe record a video for us as well. And then, yeah, it's maybe maximum 7 to 10 days we'll be live on Times Square.
Okay. And then if people have a question or want to contact customer support, is there a way to do that apart from Telegram?
No, as of now, it's only Telegram or emails. So basically, we keep doing regular email campaigns as well, where people can reply back to those emails or join our Telegram group. That's the best place because the community answers the questions for every newcomer or someone who's having a technical issues themselves. Otherwise, we have mods 24/7, and they're very helpful.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree. It's awesome to have the community answering questions. You don't really want Michael and his team answering the questions. You want them working on the project, right? So if people are coming in asking questions, it'd be better to have the community answer them. So again, that's one nice thing about Telegram. And then this is not something that we want or anything, but what are the contingency plans if the management team dies in a catastrophe? No plans
See,
for that.
that's been asked. That's been asked, and that's why there's a second in command to myself, whose name is Hells, and he's always there on our Telegram. And I've introduced the whole dev team to him. He knows about most of the things, and then obviously the trader and myself. Now, between just two of us, we have the access to the wallet keys and stuff. So now I'm in London, he's in Japan. We're not going to die together, even if it's an accident. So you guys are pretty much secure there as well.
Okay. Yeah. If they both die at the same time, it's probably a worldwide
Then,
thing. And
then
then,
and then that's a complete bad luck for all of you.
yeah, right. We will have other concerns. I'm guessing. Okay. Let's see. Who all have access to contract withdrawal? The third, the bot.
Only myself.
Okay. Awesome. The platform shows AVAX, Ethereum, etc. Are there plans to implement deposits in these coins?
No, there are no plans. We're not going to be launching any new chain anytime soon. We are just happy with. We just wanted to launch BUSD just from the perspective because Matic, as I said, it's not a huge supply and it could have run into a problem. That's why we launched BUSD. Then people were pushing us for BNB, and we only launched BNB because to transact BUSD on our app, you need to have some BNB as a gas fee, and that's why we thought it was relevant to launch it, and we did. We are not launching any more chains. We don't need to.
Okay. And I want to talk through this because this is a question I get on a lot of projects, and I just kind of want to hear how you would address this type of comment. But if this guy really makes 1.5% daily, why TF? Which I don't know what that means. I'm just kidding. I do.
YTF?
Yeah, but why does he need your money?
Okay, I'll answer that. So if I have, say, limited funds, and as I said before, this was not the plan to launch it to public. It just went public by an accident. When I spoke to DeFi dude, he said, I want to do a video. I want to do a video. I didn't know that video is going to go that viral that you're just going to have like tons of people come into the platform. And that's what happened. So firstly, this was not a planned move that I wanted to launch this project. I never wanted to launch this project. And I'm sure if you go into our Telegram group, the people who were the first 20 people in the project are going to tell you this was a very tight community. It was never planned to be launched. And thereafter, what do I enjoy? As I told you, some days I'm making 2%, some days 2.25, some days even 8. So that's the upside. Now, if I can enjoy more money on other people's capital, why not? I would love to do that.
Yeah, could you talk through maybe on the leverage side of things how having more capital actually helps you make more money? Can you talk through that?
Sure. So, for example, say you have a long shot which you're playing on a crypto market and the market's just going sideways, and you have enough leverage to open another position and another position. Because if you're limited to funds, you're limited to your positions which you can open. Any trader knows this. So, the only leverage we have with so much funds lying is if you're, say, for example, opening a position for $100,000 and now the market turns sideways. Now we need to accumulate more funds to actually open another position to get up previous position in a better position, like just to make up for that. And in terms to do that, we always have enough funds to do that when so many people are invested in the platform. And that's why it becomes interesting. And I said more leverage is always good for any trader. I mean, you can ask that to any trader. I'm sure you trade, you know that yourself. If you have enough funds lying in on the side, you can always come out as a winner with trading.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting balance to try and keep because it's a lot easier to manage the project when it's small and as it gets bigger, it opens up more opportunities, but it also makes the project more difficult to run. So yeah, I can understand kind of at the beginning you're thinking, okay, let's try to keep it small, but then once, especially in the bear market, if people see, hey, I'm making 1.5% a day, then people start flocking in. So yeah, it's a difficult thing. How do you navigate that as a
But
project
James,
founder?
to answer, that's a very good question you brought. Like in a plunge market where people are not making that much money, we were actually making more money during that time because the fluctuation rate was so high that the market was going in any direction, maybe sometimes plus 8 to 10%, sometimes minus 8 to 10%. That's when there's enough juice in trading, and that's what we enjoy the most. So for us, the days where you're going like minus 8 to 10% and plus 8 to 10%, those are the kind of days we've actually covered maybe for 10 to 15 days at a time to pay out people at 1.5% a day. And in regards with the project becoming big, listen, it's all about hiring. I'm a very giving person in the way, like, not just say I'm giving people 1.5%. This people are earning themselves because they're putting their capital at risk. But I'm not a person who wants to be very stingy. I'm a giving person in a way, like, I'll go and hire more devs it's needed. So that's why I have a dev team of 40 people, which gives me peace because anything goes wrong, they're right there. They're around the clock. So it's not that we have a 24-hour dev team now, basically. Anything goes wrong, it's just fixed there and then. So it's a support. And then I have such good mods, which have been with me almost for a year now, that they understand my style of working. I understand their style of working. It's all very a family kind of a scene right now. So we do not feel any pressure. We've got a great marketing team when it comes to it. There's a guy who's helping us a lot, and him and me do brainstorm some other stuff as well. So definitely, it's all about team. If your team is key and you're handling your people the right way, you don't let them go from your project to join other project just because they want some extra bit of funds and stuff like that, you'll always come out as a winner because at the end, it's the team, it's the engineering which they've done behind it. And if you keep them tight, I don't think there's any reason we can fail.
Okay, and could you talk through? We got a few people talking about the fact that 1.5% a day for a year would be like, I think it's 22,000% APY.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about? I mean, is that sustainable? Is that
Again,
math correct? Do you think is that
again,
what
I have
people are
this.
really going to get?
Again, I have the stats. They're talking about compounding. No one compounds straight in a year. Trust me, that's very hard to find a person who's going to compound straight in a year. We do have certain people who've been compounding straight for, I would say, 3 months, 3.5 months. They have big wallets, but still, we've mathematized all of that. That doesn't harm us in any ways. But I've answered this because I keep checking stats. There, the percentage of people who are actually just compounding and compounding is close to only 2 to 3%. So I do not fear that's going to impact us at all.
Okay, and then could you talk through why the funds are locked for 28 days?
Yeah. So on the trading purposes, that's why we just did a first 28-day lock. I mean, we as trading need to know what capital we have on the side. This is the same question of having leverage, right? If tomorrow you want to come in, just play 2 days, 3 days, and take your money out, as the trading bots, like they need to know what fiduciary they have, how much money they have lying on the side, so they can play with the trade positions and stuff like that. That's what makes it better and risk adverse, right? Because if we do not have an idea of how much money we have lying on, how much money we can play with, any person would just come on, put the money, make 3 to 7%, and just go out. So that doesn't help the company when it's performing the trades. That's why there was a first 28-day lock, and that's why we've kept it. It's only 28 days. After that, there's no lock in this whole system.
Okay. Yeah. And people who are fudding are just jealous. I don't know if that's, I mean, they're just curious and wanting to make sure skeptical, which is good in this space. But you have been making 1.5% daily without a single day of failure for 5 months. So that's almost 900% return if people had just compounded. So if you don't think 22,000 is possible, you probably don't think 900% is possible, but that has been achieved for the last 5 months. So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think our balance of even contract balance of BUSD is close to $15-16 million. It's not the things like you guys have to understand. For example, people ask about my face. I mean, I don't know, James, how much you know about tech, but I'm sure you do. Just to get listed on an Apple store, you have to do a full KYC. You just have to have your face with the whole live video camera. Then only Apple approves you, and Apple doesn't approve you like that. Apple is the hardest thing to get approved on. If it's Play Store, that's easy. Just send your KYC, you're approved. We've got Transact, which is a financial instrument where people can buy via their credit card, debit card, and stuff like that. They did a full-on KYC on me, right? We have a company out of UK, which is StableFund Group Limited. It's a whole company under financial activities. So we've done the best we can to protect ourselves and forecast our vision towards this company. And now if people do have questions, I understand, and I don't feel bad about those questions because these are the people who've been burnt in the DeFi space with other projects. I always welcome such questions, and I completely understand where you guys are coming from, but let me tell you, this is not a Ponzi-nomics project. If it was a Ponzi-nomics project, 1.5% a day is not possible for this long of a time as well. If it was just a Ponzi-nomics, this would have been over maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and as the markets crash, we've been in a bear market. There's not been a lot of new capital coming into the DeFi space. And I think for the audience, I timed a few people out, but I do appreciate questions, but don't just make statements like, oh, this is a scam. Like, that's not helpful for anyone. But if you have questions, if you think it's a scam and it's like, okay, well, what questions do you have that would make you think it's not a scam? If there's nothing that's going to change your mind, then it's not helpful. So just don't make statements of FUD, but you can make questions. Like, for example, I hate gingers. Like, I'm going to block you. What's wrong with gingers? Redheads are awesome. So I'm blocking you. There's no question there. If you asked why are gingers so terrible, that would be okay. I did want to bring this up. Myself and the team at Illuminati DeFi are doing a 365-day charity challenge. How confident is Michael we will get to 365 days and be in a position to change someone's life?
Oh, yes. I've spoken to this guy before. I'm 100% confident, and there's no way that we're not crossing by 365 days. In fact, there's not going to be 365 or maybe say 500 days or 1,000 days. I've said this many times before, and I'm going to say it once again. Crypto market is there. We are there. If crypto market goes to 40-50% in a day, it changes things for us. As of today, it won't change things for us because we have enough in fiduciary. But what happens in future, I don't know. But definitely, I can tell you one thing. I don't foresee crypto market crashing 40-50% in a day. That's my personal opinion. But if it does, then obviously this project is at risk.
Okay. Piano Boy says, great channel. Fairest AMA I've seen. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate the donation also. Do you have any plans for a deposit cap soon?
Not as of now, but I said that whenever the team feels that, okay, we are reaching a limit that we should just don't have new investors and cap it off, which is way above $500-600 million. We don't feel that we're soon reaching that point. So no plans as of now. But if there is a situation which arises, we will announce that to our community through our social media channels.
Okay. And is there going to be any updates to the UI to make it smoother when using a hardware wallet, or just UI updates in general?
Definitely. So before 20th of this month, the whole website dashboard's coming with a phenomenal UI UX, and so is the app. So definitely a lot of new UI UIs are coming. And additionally, when new people download the app now and create their account for the first time, you have a full walkthrough tour guide, which is going to help you step by step. That has already been implemented. So we're launching, and soon you guys will be seeing us on the Wallet Connect as well, right? When you go to Wallet Connect, as of now, you see MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and all. StableFund's going to be there soon as well. I think that's going to be before end of this month as well.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. And by the way, people in the audience, if I don't answer your question, there's a chance we already talked about it. So the replay for this will be available right when we're done here. You can go back. I'll get timestamps for what questions we asked, and you can kind of go back through there. And this has actually been asked several times, but why go for a 6-word seed phrase instead of 12 or 24?
That's a deaf question. I've never had this question before, and this question has been asked for the first time. I shall answer this on the next AMA with James.
Okay. Nope. Sounds good. I just had a few people asking it. So is there any plans for auto compounding?
No, because again, that's as per our lawyers. They've said, no, we can't do auto compounding because that makes us do something against financial advice. So we can't tell auto compound on people's behalf and they're not giving us a consent. So it's a manual compounding, and that manual compounding also does help, say, S-Rocket people in a way, because then they are getting the 3% and it's more incentive for them. But from legal perspective, we've been told auto compounding is not possible.
Okay. Nope. I think that makes sense. And then is there like a general compound strategy that you think is best, or is it kind of just up to the investor and their goals and risk appetite?
Completely up to the investors. I mean, listen, I have my own wallet sometimes. Like I like to play with a bit of BUSD. I never compound because if I'm making 45% straight a month, I don't care about compounding at that given point. So I just leave the capital in and keep doing that. So personally, I don't, but definitely Hells, who's second to me, is the god at compounding. So just reach out to him in the Telegram channel. He will help you out, and he's the one who actually taught a lot of people how to compound and what are the best timings to compound and stuff like that. So you even pay less gas fee.
Okay. And then we have people asking again. We already talked about this, but I'm just mentioning it again. That the reason, if you make so much off the bots, the reason that it's helpful to get more capital is because as you get more capital, it helps you get more leverage. It helps you be able to hedge your bots better. You can put a lot of capital on this side and a lot of capital on this side. And so the more capital you can get into a bot like this, and I've experienced this, you're able to make it less risky, get higher returns. So that is, we talked about that a little bit earlier, so you can go back and listen to that answer too. Let's see. Any updates on the Forbes article that is forthcoming?
Definitely, yeah. So the Forbes article has been approved. I have the content as well, but it's not gone live yet. I've been chasing the vendor who actually approached us, and he's a writer, actually, like an editor at Forbes, who approached me and taken the whole interview and stuff like that. But he hasn't responded to my text yet. I mean, he hasn't read it. It's a single text on WhatsApp. So as soon as I get through that, I'm going to pin it on my Telegram channel and Twitter of what the update around that is. Our Twitter verification is being promised to us soon enough as well. So that's in works as well. And that should be, I think, in less than next 2 weeks.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for answering that. Let's see. Other questions to bring up. Okay, so Marco, we kind of already talked about this a little bit too, but with an investment of $1,000, I'll have $225,000 after 1 year. And again, it hasn't been around a year, so we don't know exactly how it's going to work out. But for the last 5 months, as long as they've been around, you would have gotten 900% return.
But
so
let me answer that question in a different way.
Sure.
And this is going to be this. For example, when Bitcoin goes up to $30,000-$40,000, and we all are seeing that, and we bought the Bitcoin at $15,000, what do we all do? We cash out our risk, right? We do that, correct, James? It's the same thing. When you guys see the pot growing so much, trust me, you won't let it cross 50,000 and you would feel, oh, I should take 25 or 30 grand out. And then that's going to lower your initial investment. And that breaks through the whole compounding factor. So anyone who's thinking straight compound in a year, that doesn't happen. And I've seen the stats, and I know that that's not what we are seeing as a pattern with this community, at least, which we have right now.
Okay. No, I think that's a fair answer. And I think it should go without saying, but maybe we should say it. But it is a risky investment. Okay, I'll go ahead and say that. This is crypto, so anything in crypto is going to be have a some level of risk. Okay, and then this is high return crypto, so there is going to be risk involved. So again, the same things that I always talk about: don't put in more than you can afford to lose. Don't do that. Don't go take out a loan. I had somebody ask me, should I take out a loan to put into something like this? The answer is absolutely not.
No,
I don't give financial advice, but I will give that financial advice. Don't do a
don't
loan.
take loans. Don't try to quit your jobs. Don't do any of that stuff. I mean, this is just the icing on the cake. That's how you should take it. You know, right? Like this is your extra thing which you're making, say, for example, on other DeFi projects and stuff like that. You can just take part of that money from there and then diversify. Like, listen, like we guys are diversifying. We're diversifying within 3 bots. There's a reason behind that. And that's how you guys should treat your investments as well. Every investment should be diversified and you never come out as a failure.
Okay. Yeah. And I would also add that I wouldn't recommend that you just compound for a year. I would recommend that you take some profits out. Like you were saying, Michael, when I am doing my own trading or my own bots, I know better just from what we've experienced in crypto than to just keep compounding for a year. I get your profits out when you can. You just don't know what's going to happen. And so that's what
Correct.
I
And
would
if
say.
if not to stable fund, you don't know what's going to happen to crypto. So just think it like that. Like that's why I gave the example of the Bitcoin. You know, when you see Bitcoin going so up, you know there's going to be a downfall coming or everything. You cover your initial investment at least, and then you're out, play with your profits.
Yes. And then do you know what other chains are on the roadmap?
No other chains, as I said. No, we're not going to be launching any other chains. That's it.
Okay. And then Declan says, I'm selling my wife for this beautiful project. I do not recommend that. Okay. People over projects is what I say. And then we talked about this at the beginning. So again, if you want a fuller answer, you can go listen to the beginning, but maybe we could just kind of TLDR it again. But what makes StableFund not Ponzi? Because yeah, I did a video on Ponzi schemes the other day, and
Yes.
usually when you're looking at guaranteed rewards, regardless of market conditions and things like that, those are some Ponzi indications. Do you kind of want to just
Correct.
address that again?
Yeah. So as we said, we're trading different pairs. We're trading Matic, we're trading BUSD, we are trading good enough amount of gold, oil and gas. So this is not a Ponzi-nomics. If you go and if you're a coder or anyone who can have a good search on how smart contracts work, you can see we keep injecting back money as well. So Ponzi-nomics doesn't do that. And if this was Ponzi-nomics, if you see the amount of money which is being paid out and stuff like that, it doesn't add up. So this is definitely not a Ponzi-nomics, yes, but it is a platform which is on based on trading, and it's based on mostly crypto trading. And on the side with the third bot, we do trade the gold with USD. So this is not a Ponzi-nomics. And if you have a lot of doubts, make sure you buy that ticket when the ticket comes out for the event and come and see the live trades.
There you go. And I have a lot of people asking me about the London office, and I don't know what that's in regards to, but do you want
That's
to?
just a registered, yeah, sure. That's just a registered office. So it's just a registered office where our mail goes and stuff like that. We do not have a physical office as such. It's just a registered office, like a pay service, which we pay for, and the office is there. So we receive our mails, get forwarded through that office and stuff like that. And the reason for that is I could have put some other address, but the address was necessary to open up a company. So that's why we put the address there. And other than that, yeah, what else? I mean, that address you won't find if you go there physically. You won't find an office for StableFund because most of our devs are out of Asia and US, so we don't need, and the traders are out of Japan, so we do not really need a physical presence office in London as such.
Okay, yeah. And by the way, if I blocked you or put you in timeout in the comments, it's not because I don't appreciate the questions, but it's just if you just make comments like, "Oh, that's a scam," yada yada yada. That's not helpful. Those are not questions to help clarify anything, so they're not helpful for anyone in here. So if you have questions, feel free to ask those. How long does Michael see the project living? What's kind of your? Let's go long term. Yeah, let's say 3 years or 5 years. What's kind of the on the vision for that far out?
So see, as I said before, and this is kind of the same question. As far as crypto is there, this project is there. It's not going anywhere. Yes, certain things about the project, as in the company, can change, that we get acquired by some big company and then we just have to mend our ways in the way, like some change in management. Oh, I'm definitely going to be there, but maybe some new role people coming in and stuff like that. But apart from that, we are just here to stay. We're not here to go.
Okay. And then do you have big plans for the future? You're going to kind of just keep doing what you're doing. It's working. What are the kind of the plans there?
Working on a few things, obviously, apart from StableFund. Yes, a lot of other things as well. I'm a guy who doesn't really sit down calmly. It's in me. I keep going, keep going, keep going. But from StableFund perspective, we're just making the user experience better. We hiring much more talent to make things better. We just want to go mainstream at this point because I see like there's such good comments. I don't know if you've been in our community or not. Like someone paid their house loan, right? Their mortgage was paid off just because of StableFund. One guy bought an Audi TT car out of StableFund. One person paid for his mother's surgery out of StableFund. Like when I see all those things coming in, it motivates me much, much more to keep this project going forever and ever. So we do have such examples, guys. Please, whoever is mentioning scam and stuff like that, make sure you do visit our channel. Take the testimonies, not from me, not from my team members, from the actual users of the platform, and that speaks for itself.
Yep. And we will probably kind of wrap up here before too long. I don't want to keep he's got to keep building, and we have a lot of questions though, but do hop into the Telegram. And again, I would encourage the community. I am a stable fund investor, so I'm part of the community, but I would just urge you guys to be patient with people. People are used to scams. They're used to things not working out. They're used to rug pulls. So if people come in saying it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam, don't just make fun of them, but like try to work with them and talk through them and convince them. I see so many communities just attacking, but this is a great time. I mean, you should be skeptical of anything in the crypto space, and especially 1.5% a day. I think it's fair to be skeptical about that, but don't let your skepticism turn into rudeness. Just come ask the questions. I think that's the best way to do it. If
100%.
if the traders lose money, is that passed on to investors?
If the traders lose money, no, that's not. No, never. So, for example, a day when we are, say, losing, which has not been so far, then we do have a fiduciary, as I said, because there are certain days where we make money. So what happens is I do accounting on a monthly basis. So whatever profits is made by the company, say whatever we've made upon 1.5%, we still leave a lot of funds out of that into a safe wallet just to make sure that if a bad day comes, our community is not hurt. So we kind of try to take less, but we are building fiduciary and fiduciary on top of fiduciary. That's what we're doing.
Okay. And then can you please ask, so a few people have asked about this, the Dragon Den. And again, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure you do.
Yeah. All right. So Dragon Den was an NFT which we launched along with StableFund. That was the high ROI project. So guys, we are launching a game which is a play to earn game, which is linked to Farmhouse and the Dragon's Den. Now, when I spoke to the devs yesterday, they told me it's in about a week, 10 days, because Apple really changed their guidelines about 2 months ago. We were ready to launch, but we had to redo the whole game. So that's coming soon. And then once that comes, the stash of your Dragon Den is going to be start coming up again.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, we spoke about the crypto conference. Yes, we spoke about the crypto conference. So again, you can go back and listen to that, and I will get timestamps for all the questions, so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. How safe is the wallet? What safety measures are in place?
So again, we've got best security measures on place as any other crypto wallet can have. We have like a team of very seasoned security experts having close to 11 years experience. That's the highest in the team. So they know what the security measures they're taking. Again, we have like OTP for you guys, and we even have your email verifications. And now whenever you need to even send the funds out of wallet, there is an OTP, like an authentication for that. So we're doing as much as we can from the security protocols, and to me it looks pretty secure as of now, but we keep improving on this stuff all the time.
Okay. And then Marco says, I will put 1K in, wait 2 months to get my investment out, leave 1K in there with zero risk and let it ride to 1 million. Why should I be the only one doing this? And I don't think you should be. I think that's a good strategy. Marco, that's probably what I would do. Put my money in, get initial out, leave the rest in, and compound, and
But Marco,
then
how do you know? How do you know that's only you going to be doing that? Maybe a lot of people are, in fact, doing that.
yep, I think so. Is this? I don't know if this is too personal, but how much do you have invested in StableFund? I don't know if you can answer that or not.
Yeah, I mean, let me just open one of my wallets right now. I'll tell you exactly. I invested, I think, 3 days ago as well. It's about 171,000 Maddox. I have from my one wallet in BUSD. I have 567,000, and in BNB I don't have none.
Okay, very cool. That's quite a bit. And then I love this comment. So we have some people coming in saying drip is better, yada yada yada. No need to compare drip to StableFund. Both are really good projects. There's room for many good projects, and I love that because drip and StableFund are not competitors. They're not doing the same thing at all. I've never heard drip say anything about using trading bots or anything like that. So completely two different things. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, listen, Drip is a complete different project to us. That's a very community driven project. Our project is not community driven at all. That's what I've said from day one. If I have one investor or if I have 100,000 investors, the project's going to run the same way. So that's the answer for that. They're very different projects. And as James said very well, there's good to have competition around. So you guys have different platforms to go in and invest. It should always be that like.
Yep, totally agree. And then Kryptonair says, I'd like to find out whether this AMA session was arranged at your own instance or Michael contacted you. And I think I reached out first because I had so many people asking me about StableFund. What are your thoughts on StableFund? What are your thoughts on StableFund? And I just wanted to do an AMA just to kind of meet Michael and talk through things a little bit. So I believe that I reached out to you, if I remember right, or it might have been kind of mutual.
Definitely. No.
Yeah.
It was kind of mutual. It came through a community member of ours, and he's your community member as well. And I think he was the one who arranged it first. But then, as I said before joining, I had approached you before for my previous project, the farmhouse, and we couldn't get it done that time. So it
Yeah.
happened this time.
Yeah, well, and if you maybe that's good to mention that for the farmhouse, I didn't really like the project that much, and so I was like, I don't really. It was kind of at the time where everything was falling apart, and I was like, I just don't know. I don't feel good about this. But then Stable Fund, I have felt better about, and so yeah, very cool. I think we'll kind of wrap up the questions there. If you guys have other things that I did not get to, a lot of these have been answered already. So if you're showing up late, then definitely check out the recording and we answer a lot of these. But if you have more questions, I'll put a link to the Telegram again and do go in there, discuss, be cordial. Telegram is sometimes not the most pleasant experience for people. So Stable Fund, I just encourage you, make your Telegram a nice place, a safe, friendly place. I think that would be awesome. So I want to thank first as we wrap up here. Well, first off, Michael, do you have anything else that you feel like we didn't touch on or things you want to address before we finish up here?
No, I definitely think we covered mostly on everything. And thanks for having me here. And thank you, everyone, for joining the AMA. And hope to see you guys soon on the platform.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back in a couple months just to see, how things have been going from that time. Again, I'm an investor in StableFund, so you guys will see it in my journey to 10K a day in passive income. You'll see it in my numbers for the month and those things. So I'm curious to see how it goes. So I want to thank first the audience. Appreciate you guys. I'll have to do Sunday AMAs more often, I guess, with everybody off work and things like that. We had the whole crew show up. So thank you for the StableFund people who came. Appreciate you guys. And then for people who are just checking out StableFund, thank you guys as well for the awesome questions. And Michael, as always, appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. And hopefully we can meet one of these days in person. That'd be awesome. Sometime we can connect that way.
Definitely, James. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.